Welcome to Business Time, the main stage for your business.
Hello and welcome to Business Time. And today, if you want to grow your business and make a lot more with outsourcing, this is the episode for you. I want to welcome Jay Mulani. Hey, Jay.
Hey, Elias, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Thank you.
So I wanted to introduce you. You are the CEO of IBT, and
Right.
IBT does a lot of things around outsourcing.
Right.
That's what we're going to discuss today. You know, a lot of small and medium and even large business owners wants to get more done, but they sometimes don't have the right HR for it. And your company does that and so much more. But
Right.
before we dive into outsourcing, I want you to tell the people about your personal story, which I've heard it and it's amazing and very inspirational, and people should definitely hear it.
Sure. So my name is Jay Mulani. I am the CEO of IBT. We are one of the largest BPO company in Middle East. I came to Dubai in 2004. So when I just landed, I just felt something different because I'm coming from lower middle class family in India. As soon as flight landed and I touched the land of the country, I just, in my mind, I prayed to accept me as a child of this country. And I felt very different. I felt amazing. And I thought that this is a place I want to grow my life. I want to scale myself as a person and make my family proud. So that's how I landed in Dubai 2004.
Yeah, and you were, as I heard, 1,500 dirhams in your pocket back then.
That's right.
That's how you started here. Now
Right.
you have this amazing company, hundreds of employees. So tell
Right.
me, how have you done it?
Okay. So this is the ideal or say a standard journey of anyone struggling in their life in their home country. And Dubai was always in our mind when I was a child. This is a story which everybody would like to follow. So generally what happens is when you come to Dubai, you come on a visit visa or you come on some sponsor's visa where if you have uncle or any friends. When you come on a visit visa, the first thing you do is you look for a job, right?
Of course.
So that's what I did. And as a background, I was IT engineer from my education. So I started looking for IT engineer or IT technician job. And I landed my first job, which was 1,500 dirhams in 2004, and did my first job in that retail company as IT technician. So generally in this kind of job, you get a call from users who are using computers. They have issues with the printers. You go and fix it and come back, and you don't have much things to do. You don't have much more things to learn. So I did that for a year. And then I quit.
So it's quite frightening to quit, from a safe job,
Yeah.
even though it was paying low, but still you had a job, and now you go out and find yourself in a strange country, in a foreign country.
Yeah.
So how, and still from doing that, and you quit what jobs, and now you have this huge, amazing company. How have you done it? What is the process from quitting the job as an IT engineer to owning this company?
Right. So when I realized in first few months of that job that this is not something I would like to pursue for longer term, but I was just married at that time. So I didn't wanted any stability issue, or financial instability in my family. So my wife was here with me. She also came on a visit visa. She got a job. She got a decent job and she settled down there. And when she got settled in that company, I moved because I was not, I was very persuasive and very ambitious for my career. So then I left that company as IT technician and I moved to another company. That's where I started working as a sales executive. And there my salary was 2,000 dirhams. So I was not impressed by the growth of 500 dirhams that time. It was very big amount even that time. Like it was 30% of my salary, right? So from 1,500 to 2,000, the amount was less attractive for me, but the job profile was attractive. Where because I am from IT background, I used to go and sell IT products, IT services to the companies. And I started there for 2000 dirhams. And in 3 months, my salary became 3000 dirhams. So it was kind of a medium size of company. And I used to report to the owner directly. And I delivered what I was supposed to deliver. Twice the target I delivered in first month. And second, third month, I did pretty well. So third month, my salary increased from 2 to 3. And I think that's when I realized that I am a commercial guy and I should pursue that. So from there, from 3,000, it became 30,000 in 3 years. So from say 2005 to 2008 end or 2009 beginning, 3.5 years I worked there. And the last salary I withdrew in that company was 30,000 dirhams in 2009. Then obviously all the companies were affected by a recession, and which came in October 2008. A lot of companies collapsed. So then in 2009, I thought this is a time to move on and start something on. So we had a good relationship with the company, and I had a good relationship with the owner, and we discussed, and I took exit from that company and I started IBT.
Amazing. So just, after a recession when everyone is losing their companies and jobs, and you just started something new and made it amazingly successful. So after doing this amazing journey and growing your company, such a beautiful, amazing places, working with the biggest companies here in Dubai and even more, what tips you can give to a young entrepreneur starting his life, maybe now working as an employee, as a salaried employee somewhere? What are your tips or the thoughts you want to share with him regarding someone that want to be successful like you?
Okay. So I have advice for people in 2 categories. So first category is someone who is working or doing some job. And the other category is someone who just started a company or just became the entrepreneur. So starting from the category, if you are working somewhere and you just thinking to start a business because you are not earning enough. So I would say there are 3 things which you need to consider, and you should not start a business, I believe. So if you are starting a business to earn money, just to earn little bit of money, or if you are starting a business for freedom of time, that I want to wake up at 10 and do whatever I want and then just work for 3-4 hours, and so this is second, if you are falling into that. Or the third thing is you are jobless, and because you are not getting a job somewhere, you are just starting a business as a freelancer or something your own. So in these 3 points, if you are considering yourself, you should not start a business, because starting a business is not really a fancy thing. Trust me. When you call yourself an entrepreneur or when you start a business, it's not fancy for you. If somebody looks at me today, even today, I have been in a leadership position for 20 years now, and I'm running a company, running IBT for 15 years now. If somebody looks at my life, we have a huge house, multiple cars, right? So if you look at our life from outside, it's very fancy. But nobody see the grinding of the real grinding, nobody see that. So if you just look at the cars, if you look at the big house, villas, and good life, luxurious life, don't start a business. This is my advice. If you are not happy with the company, better you change the company. If you're not getting an increment, talk to your boss. Try to get an increment. If you're looking for a job and you're not getting a job, try to get a good job and work hard. Try harder in getting a good job.
Yeah.
But just don't start a company because you want freedom or you want a little bit of more money, or you're not getting a job.
Company is about giving value to people, to the world, right? That's the thing.
Right. So I have seen, I think, hundreds of companies, Elias, trust me. Hundreds of companies I have seen, they put in their life savings, which they have earned they try their hard for next 3 years, 4 years. They lose everything. they close down and they go back to the job. So my highest recommendation is not to start a business if you are into just money or just freedom or you are just jobless. My second category of advice for people who have just started is don't focus on just money. I know you need money to survive, so take care of your funds well. Don't focus on your stakeholders if you have any in your company. You have to take care of your stakeholders, but your 80% of focus should be on creating value to the client. Suppose if any company is dealing with IBT, like IBT, we have many companies in Middle East, right? But why they choose IBT? What value we create for our customers, our partners? That's what matters. Just focusing on profits or revenue or focusing on satisfying your stakeholders, you will close down and you will be out of business.
First of all, you need to understand you have clients, and
Right.
if they are happy, if they are satisfied with you,
Right.
then it's a successful business.
Right. So make sure your clients are happy. You create good value for them, for their business. When your clients are happy, definitely you grow your business. That's one aspect of it. And the second aspect is take care of your employees. In 3 years, 4 years, 5 years of time running a business, you are no more in the front. You are not a front runner anymore, right? You become an architect of the business and you just sit back and drive the business. People who are running business are the front runners, your employees. So you have to make sure that they are well trained, they are well paid, they're happy working with you.
For sure.
Otherwise, if they are not happy, somebody else will make them happy and they will obviously go away.
Exactly. And it's one of the pillars of a good business is their
Right.
good running employees that knows how to run things. And I want on that way to also ask you, because you just, I think, talked about the difference between an entrepreneur and then a CEO
Yeah.
in the mindset regarding, because when you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to, as you said, invent and create. And when you are a CEO, it's a little bit different. You need to have, as you said, to drive the car
Right.
instead of just designing it.
True.
So what is the difference where you think in the mindset between a CEO and an entrepreneur?
So I believe there is one big difference between entrepreneur and CEO, or the mindset of entrepreneur and mindset of a CEO. So entrepreneur is someone who built the business and grind a lot in the beginning, try their best to survive and settles down the business. So that's the entrepreneur mindset. The challenges which entrepreneur goes through, only entrepreneur will understand. So this is one part of the business, which is entrepreneur mindset. But when your business is 5 years or 6 years old, either you need to shift your mindset from entrepreneur to CEO. And I have seen 95% of people failing in doing that. And that's when their business don't grow. If you are not able to shift your mindset from entrepreneur to CEO, better to hire a CEO, hand over the business to them to run the business. And if you are not able to change your mindset from entrepreneur, give the business to the CEO, let him run, and you start another business, right?
Yeah.
So in my case, I also suffered and struggled when I had an entrepreneur mindset. And I was running the same way after 5 years, 6 years of the business. And obviously, we failed. I failed. But I learned. I read a lot of books. I learned from failures. I learned from failures of others. I learned from a lot of great leaders to whom we see on the social media. So I was able to change my mindset from entrepreneur to CEO. CEO mindset is to optimize the business. So if entrepreneur and CEO are standing together, entrepreneur mindset is to survive, sustain, make sure they don't fail, make sure people stay. So this struggle you run for 4 years, 5 years when you start a business. But if you have successfully completed 5 years, 6 years, change it to CEO mindset. Obviously, there are a lot of books around. You can learn from a lot of great leaders to whom you know who have done that. CEO mindset, on the other hand, they don't have survival issues because the business is already built, right? The company is already set up. The people are already there. Now, CEO mindset is to optimize the business. Now, if your company is doing, say, 50 million turnover, CEO will think how to make it to 60, 70, 80 million a year. So CEO can do that. But entrepreneur mindset is to survive this 50 million, which he worked 5 years and reached up to 50 million. He will, CEO as entrepreneur mindset will always try to protect those 50 million, that I want to stay 50 million, make sure every year we hit 50 million. So after your business is 5-6 years old, it will stop growing if you don't change your mindset or if you don't have a CEO.
So that's
In the
definitely, if when they are small, when they're just starting the business, they definitely need to know that, because business is such it's a living creature, right? It's always moving and it's always growing. It's always descending. So you always need to be on the go. And on that note, let's speak about your living creature, about IBT.
Right.
So we talked about outsourcing. So please tell us what kind of outsourcing we can find on IBT.
Right. So IBT is one of the largest BPO company in Middle East. In IBT, we have 3 verticals. The first vertical is technology. It is technology as a first vertical because we started as a tech company. The second vertical is customer experience. In customer experience, we have front office, back office, call center, and customer management. And the third vertical is staffing. So these are all 3 different dimensions of our business, 3 different line of businesses we have in our company. And if we have a customer, for example, they are into retail, or they are into fashion industry or automobile industry or government sector, if we speak about healthcare, education, we have clients across the industries. We have people specialized into all the industries, and they lead the industry by line of business.
Amazing. So let's start taking each department apart. Let's talk about technology. So basically coming to a business and help them create their own apps, their own funnels, their own websites. Take us towards what exactly we can find.
So in technology, we do managed services, outsourcing, IT outsourcing we call it. In IT outsourcing, if you are looking for IT helpdesk services, data center management, information security services, cyber security also we can call it, data security services. So we offer end-to-end technology services, which is IT outsourcing. Now, if the organization, the potential organization which we are working with is a large, we have a dedicated services for them. So we deploy based on the metrics and the requirement, 5, 10, 15 people to cater to those needs. If the organization is small, they don't have to hire a dedicated guy. We have a shared services as well. So we have say one employee working for 5 or 6 companies, right? So that way we save cost for the customers as well as we deliver what they are supposed to get.
Amazing. And about HR, or as you said, the front office, back office, customer success, all of those things.
Right.
So this is, when you think outsourcing, maybe that's the first thing comes to mind, right? When you need someone to help you get the back office done or front office. So how is it going on IBT?
Right. So I have a fantastic example of customer experience line of business. So you're looking for a car, right? So when you're looking for XYZ car, you Google it or you just go to their website. Now on that website, you have a chat, call, and the WhatsApp bots. So if you are going to their website, you send a message on WhatsApp, I want to book a test drive. And then chatbot takes you through few questions.
A chatbot which you created.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. So chatbot asks you a few questions. So the agent who is responding to you knows what is your requirement, right? So a few questions asked, agent knows what you want. Then agent books the appointment for you, and you go test drive. You like the car, you buy the car, right? So this entire journey we are talking about can be developed in our technology division, where we develop chatbots, integration with CRM, the call center apps, right? So that is developed in our technology line of business. The people who manages your chat, booking your appointment, escorting you in the showroom, take you to the test drive, receive the car back, and if you like the car, they process the invoicing, book the car, warehousing, everything. So you need a lot of people to finish this end-to-end process. So we manage those processes for many companies. So buying a car is just an example. Imagine what we could do for retail companies, for healthcare, for electronic company, e-commerce. So any sector you talk about, we have successful case studies where we do manage end-to-end, which includes technology, customer experience, and also staffing.
Yeah, so let's also talk about staffing, because you mentioned it on your example of a car company. But anyways, a lot of companies sometimes need few employees for a big event, for stuff like that. So how is it works in IBT?
So in customer experience and staffing, there are two major differences. Customer experience line of business works for the customer, right? Which is called front office and back office. So people you see in the front office and back office, like call center, chat agents, the people who process your invoicing, accounts, follow up you for the payments. So that comes as a back office team. So this comes as a customer experience line of business. Now, many times we have customers, they want themselves to manage people and process. So this is a second major difference between customer experience and staffing. In customer experience, we manage people, we manage process, and we manage their KPIs, right? And in staffing, we don't do anything. If clients tell us we want 10 call center agents at their office, we provide them 10 call center agents at their office. We manage their payroll, we manage their onboarding, retention and offboarding. That's it. The rest of the process improvements, optimization of the services is something customer themselves takes care of.
Yeah, so you basically have all the options for a business owner.
Absolutely.
So where you want to go, if you want it to be managed by you or not.
Managed by customers, yes.
So you are doing it. So let's talk a little bit about management and KPI, because we spoke a little bit about your vision of business, and you told me that I asked you, in our call before, that how is a business owner can know if the work is being done or how much work is being done. So is it by an hour? So you told me no, it's not by the hour, it's by the mission, right? Whether if the KPIs are being achieved.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about that.
So when your company is small, the CEO or the owner knows everything, right? But when your organization is large, where you have hundreds of people or thousands of people, it is very hard to manage people by one-on-one. So what we have done, and what ideally all the large companies do, is we create a blueprint of the company, what we want to achieve as a company. So for example, sales, right? What we want to achieve as a sales team. If we want to achieve 500 million turnover, for example, how do we achieve? What do we achieve? So if we take an example of just a sales team, we define their first KRAs. If somebody is joining us as a sales manager or sales account manager, we define their targets, and we define if they have 50 key accounts, how do they manage their 50 key accounts. So that becomes their KRA, which is key responsibility areas. So if you're in sales, your target is 10 million revenue, and you have to go these 50 customers and meet them every quarter. So that is your simple KRA. Now, how do we measure that? becomes your KPI. So if your target is 10 million in revenue a year, which becomes almost $1 million a month, how you are achieving that monthly basis. So we monitor your KPIs. If you are supposed to meet as your KRA, you have to meet 50 customers, your key accounts every quarter. So apparently every month you should be meeting 15 to 20 key accounts. So how you are achieving that meeting 15 key accounts, right? So that becomes your KPI. So we focus on deliverables, not on we don't believe in micromanaging and looking at the screen what people are doing. We don't have time for that. We have a bigger vision. So our focus is make sure the KRA is understood by every single employee who is working in the organization, and we make sure that KPI is being measured by their line manager, so they are delivering. That's all. Even if I look at myself, even I have a KRA as a CEO of the company, and I have KPIs. I'm obviously smart enough to measure my own KPIs, and if I feel I'm failing somewhere, I try to improve.
For sure. And when you're trying to improve, finally you need someone to take care of it. And let's talk in that way a little bit about vision.
Right.
Because vision helps us to measure our KPIs for a long time.
Right.
And I know, and in the city we're working in and living in, that it has a vision. It has an amazing vision for the past 10, 15 years, for 10, 15 years from now. And I know that you have aligned your own company with the vision of Dubai. So please tell us, how does it even go?
Right. So I have traveled many countries globally, right? But I've never seen a country like UAE, which has such a clear vision to grow and make sure their residents are aligned, they are happy, they are secured. And the vision of 2030 when it was launched, and vision of 2033, which we call it D33, was launched, we all were excited. So as an organization, what we do is we want to make sure we grow with the country. So we know that there is a 2030 vision which is defined by leadership of the country. We also set vision which is relevant to our organization for 2030, and we make sure we achieve that vision. So when country is growing, you should be ready as an organization to grow with the country. So we have a vision even D33. So we follow Dubai government and UAE government, and we align our vision of IBT with the leadership of the country.
Amazing. And regarding that, we talked a lot about your amazing clientele. Whoever goes to your website can see many, many big companies and amazing companies here in the UAE and worldwide. So can you please share with us one of your success stories, of helping a company with outsourcing create growth and grow themselves?
Right. So many times when we go and meet client, we get this question asked, why we should do outsourcing. So even yesterday I met a client, and honestly, he asked me, why should we outsource? Why don't we have it in-house? It's a hospital group. I told him, we have more than 1,000 people in the company. Why we go to hospitals? Why don't we have our own clinic, right? We don't have our own clinic because we don't have expertise. That's not our vision, number one. That's not our expertise. That's number two, right? And we don't want to deviate our vision and go into multiple things just because we don't want to outsource. So I made customer understand, if you're in a healthcare industry, you focus on healthcare, right? The other part, which can be measured and monitored easily, you can easily outsource. And the other example I gave to my client is, if you are a chef, you should craft your cooking, focus on cooking. If you focus on accounting, if you focus on call center, being a chef, you will fail. So that's what I always mention to my clients. Whatever industry you are in, if you are a hotel group, or if you're a retail, if you are into e-commerce, every company have their own expertise and their own focus area, and I think they should focus on that, which is non-core activities, maybe technology or maybe call center. They should outsource, not to us, not necessarily to us.
It's nice if they do,
Yeah,
but
of
not
course.
they.
Of course, we would love that.
Yeah.
But if not IBT, anywhere else, of course. But they should focus on their core activities. We do the same thing, right? We don't have everything in house. If any activity is not aligned with our vision, we outsource. We could buy 20 cars, but we have all the rented cars. We don't want to buy a car. We want somebody else to manage the maintenance and repairing and all that stuff. So we just rent it. We don't buy it. It's the same concept.
Exactly, and about that, I know that you've been doing it for many years for a lot of companies. So please share with us
Right.
one of those companies, one of these stories of companies you helped
Right.
create
So
amazing growth.
for compliance reasons, it will be hard for me to share the name. But the company which I'm talking about is FMCG company. It's a global company, Fortune 500 company. And their end-to-end Middle East operations, which is related to customer experience, is being managed by us. So earlier, when it was with another company, they were achieving their KPIs by 67%. And once we got them on board, it became 89% in 6 months. So this is a difference, when you work with other company and when you work with IBT.
Amazing. And regarding that, you are your company at the end of the day based on three pillars, as we
Right.
just spoke.
Right.
So how you seen the development of those three pillars? Because you said you started as tech and then you
Right.
grow to people, to
Right.
staffing,
Right.
to customer experience. So
Right.
regarding that, how do you see this growth, helping other businesses create better solutions for themselves?
Right. It's an interesting story. When we started in 2009, we were a tech company, going to the customers, fixing PCs and printers and laptops and all that stuff. We grew and then we became stagnant. We were not, so I used to focus quarter on quarter growth. So we grew for 1 year, 1.5 years, 6, 7 quarters went well. Then we became stagnant for 2 quarters. Then we pivoted our business to cloud computing. And again, we grew in that pretty well because that time cloud services were growing very fast. And in, I think, again, 2 years, 3 years, we became stagnant. And then that time, being a technology company, we used to implement a lot of call centers for our customers. So that time we implemented a call center for Italian automobile company. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So we implemented their call center, and that's when I realized we are managing IT as a service since 2009. It's 2011 or 2012. Why don't we sell call center as a service? So that's when we started focusing on call center as a service. So that time I didn't had an idea it could turn into such a big business, right? That we started as a call center outsourcing and we grew pretty well. And we grew amazing from 2011 to 16, 17, we were doing amazing. And in call center, again, because UAE is not that large market, we started expanding to other countries. Now we cover entire Middle East. And staffing services, we started by one of our large government client. We were talking to them and we explained them that this is how we would manage. We work based on KRA, KPIs and everything. And that's when client told us that we want to manage that. You just give us the staff. And you take care of payroll and visa and onboarding and everything. So that was the first client in 2019 where we gave 25 employees on staffing to one of the government client. And then the margins are very thin because you don't have much to do. You just become the staffing agency where you just process their visa and process the payroll. Customer wants to hire more, you hire more. Customer wants to disengage with few people, you disengage. So you don't have any intelligence in that process. But it's a good way of doing business. So these are the three major line of business we have.
Amazing. And it's at the end of the day, it's a complete service to the clients.
Right.
No?
So it's a stack for customers who are looking for technology services. We do have that customer who want us to manage their customer journey end to end, front office, mid office, back office. We have that. And customers who wants themselves to manage, but they just want people. We have that. So,
amazing. And regarding that, business owners that hear us right now and thinking about getting an outsourced company for any of those activities, what tips or pieces of advice you have to give to them before they even think of getting the right company?
Okay. So I would recommend all the CEOs and entrepreneurs to focus on their own crafts, focus on their own core competencies, regardless of the industry you are into. And the rest function can be outsourced. So when you outsource, you can easily define KRA, KPIs. So if you are outsourcing your accounts department, what is your KRA? What is your KPI? KPIs is how you measure how your team is performing. If you are outsourcing front office, back office, call center, define those KRA and KPIs. Find a right company who have done that for similar businesses or for the same industry you are into. Outsource, monitor, measure every week for first 3 months. After 1 quarter is over, monitor and measure monthly. After 6 months, you have nothing to do. You just get your monthly report, you monitor, you see everything is fine. That's it. Job is done.
Amazing. And then it just rinse and repeat. Do it in more departments and do it on more places of the company and create growth.
Right.
Amazing. And if you are looking a little bit to the future, what are your goals? You just said your vision is up to the future to 2033, as you said.
Right.
So what is the vision for you, for IBT?
So for now, we are number one company in BPO in UAE. By 2030, in next 6 years from now, we want to become number one in Saudi Arabia also, because in this region, we know Saudi Arabia have huge vision. They are growing amazing, and we have already established our company in Saudi, in Riyadh. So our current focus is to definitely grow with the UAE. So we have a separate team for UAE leadership. And also we are setting up a new core team and leadership team in Saudi Arabia. And inshallah, we'll be number one in Saudi in 2030.
Inshallah, for sure. Yes, sure. So Jay, it's been, it moved so fast, this interview. I had so much fun talking to you. Right. So do you want to say something to the business owners or the people that watch us right now before we finish this interview?
I'm sure if I give this advice, everybody would know that, but this is a reminder for all the CEOs and entrepreneurs who are grinding. So success, I believe, is a cycle, So it has 3 stages. The first stage is plan, second stage is execute, and third stage has 2 options. Either you pass or you fail. So keep repeating this cycle. The more passes you get in this cycle, the more ahead you will grow. And if you are failing also, keep repeating. You will succeed.
Exactly.
For sure.
It increases the chances of you to succeed next time.
Right.
For sure. It's definitely a huge and a great piece of advice. As a business owner myself, I can definitely say it's the way to go. Jay Mulani, CEO of IBT. It was a pleasure speaking to you today. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Business Time, the main stage for your business.